everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Melissa. I film videos about fashion, lifestyle, and also vlogs, and mostly about my experience at Istituto Marangoni Milan, the very famous fashion school. I actually studied there 4 years, and I post videos about all of these topics every Thursdays and sometimes Sundays. So subscribe, please, if you're not subscribed yet, because it means the world to me. But anyways, today you're probably here because you're excited. I hope you're excited, at least I'm super excited, about the number 3 Q&A for Marangoni, my experience there. I asked you guys last week to just put all of your questions on my YouTube channel and also on my Instagram and my story. And you guys asked me so many questions that are amazing, and they're actually questions that I never answered before, except maybe 1 or 2, but I'll anyways tell you guys about that later. So if you're super interested and curious, keep on watching. Okay, so it's important to know that for today, I asked 2 of my very good friends to help me out with some questions, because some questions were very general and others were also very targeted, especially regarding one particular campus, for example. So I asked, first of all, Ksenia, my very good friend who already helped me a lot with the student accommodation video that I filmed back in November, because she actually studied 3 years with me in Milan, and then she did 1 year in Paris, 1 year and a half for the master degree, and now she's also a tutor at the Istituto Marangoni in Paris. So she knows a lot about Marangoni and the different experiences regarding the 2 campuses. And she helped me with many questions today. So thank you so much, Ksenia. I'm sure you're watching this right now, and it means so much to me that you helped me with some questions. Also, I asked my very good YouTuber friend, Miriam. I actually did a collab with her. That was the student accommodation video back in November. We both collaborated because she actually studied in Marangoni, London. So she did the student accommodations there, and I did for Milan. I love her so much. We always talk, and I love her content. I'm gonna pop her YouTube down below in the description box, just down below. So thank you so much, Miriam. She helped me with the questions you had regarding fashion business, because she studied fashion business, and she also helped me for the questions regarding London campus. So without further ado, let's get going with the first question. So I decided to keep the people who asked me the questions anonymous, because I don't know if you guys want your names just thrown out there on YouTube. Therefore, I'm just gonna read them. And we're gonna start actually with the very first question from YouTube that I received. So the question is it hard to find a scholarship in Italy, especially for fashion design campus? And can you tell me more about the scholarship system in Italy? I get a lot of questions regarding scholarships, and unfortunately, I don't know much about them. I never applied for one, and I never really read about it, and I actually don't even know anyone who did apply for one around me. So Ksenia basically helped me out with this question because she helped one of her friends enter Marangoni and apply for a scholarship for Marangoni, and she told me that they do offer different scholarships, which is awesome. They actually offer some that are 50% of the total amount that you have to pay for Marangoni, and some offer 100%, so they can reimburse you or pay for you 100% of the total price. It really depends. She just told me that you have to send them your portfolio, especially as a fashion designer. You definitely have to send a portfolio. And she also told me you have to write a motivational letter, which is as you would do to just apply to Marangoni in general. So these 2 things, and probably they will ask you for other info, but we both actually think you really have to go check their website. I will link Marangoni's website down below too, so you will find all the info and you can contact the school directly to have the right information right away, because we're not so sure about all the details, but they definitely do offer scholarships. Then there's something regarding the choice of changing the campus. Okay, the question is very long, but in general, the person was asking me, and I think he asked me twice, basically there's a possibility for you guys to do 1 year in Milan and then finish your bachelor degree in London or Paris. And there's a really simple reason why. I'm just going to quickly explain why that happens. As I already explained in my bachelor video or my master video, probably both, I explained about that. In Milan, you only get a diploma. I say only because it's still a very good diploma, obviously, but you don't get an accredited, which means that if, for example, you finish your bachelor diploma in Milan and you wish to do a master in a different field, different country, different university, they might not accept you because they don't recognize the bachelor diploma from Marangoni Milan, since there's no credits. However, if you do it in London Or also in Paris, you will get a bachelor degree, which means it's credited or accredited, and afterwards you can go do a master in any other field. They will accept you anyways because you have the credits. So that's just, long story short, like very summarized. Obviously there's more detail to this, but just to explain to you why they offer the possibility for students to change campuses in the middle of the year, kind of. And this person was asking me, like, do you think people who do the 3-year in Marangoni Milan have more opportunities afterwards, instead of the people or the students who decide to change and go to another campus after a year in Milan? So I would say it really depends what you're interested in. What is the advantage of staying in Milan for the 3 years is that if you wish to work in Milan afterwards, I would say stay 3 years in Milan, because you will want to learn the language. As I already explained, to find a job in Milan, you need Italian. Like, honestly, except if you're very lucky or you have contacts or whatever, you will honestly need a bit of Italian for sure. So I would say stay the 3 years, do the 3 years there, learn Italian, and then if you wish to stay in Italy or in Milan, it's going to be easy at least. However, if you really are interested in having a bachelor degree with credits, that I would suggest like eventually changing. At least you get to do 1 year in Milan, have like the experience there, and then change for London or Paris. Then there's the question, have you faced problems while finding jobs after completing your course, or was it a piece of cake to find a good placement after graduating from Marangoni? For this, I asked also Ksenia and Miriam to answer, because they both have very different careers and different experiences as well, and I will answer too. But basically, we all said, first of all, it depends. Ksenia and I really agreed that it really depends, because as I said, maybe you are a student in Marangoni Milan or Marangoni Paris, whatever, London, and you have contacts, maybe your father is in the business, your mother is in the business, and through them you can get a job. Then obviously that's going to be easy. Maybe you already had a prior experience in a fashion company, so maybe you can go back after you graduated. It really depends, first of all, on that. So this is like the first like answer. And then what Miriam said as well, which was very interesting, because she actually is working in fashion, like pure fashion. I work for an online magazine, but it's related to lifestyle, so it's not really in the fashion industry. But she told me that the fashion industry is super competitive, and I mean, we all know that, I know that, we all know that. It's super competitive, so you do have to really differentiate yourself as well. And yeah, it's not a piece of cake. It takes a few weeks, a few months to find something. Me, my very first job after graduating, I found it after 4 months. So yeah, it's not that easy. Marangoni, as Miriam said, and that's so right, I love that answer. It's great to have it on the CV. It's a great name, but it's not gonna like just out of like by magic basically open doors and you can just get any job or internship you want. Like, no, it's not that easy. Then there's another question, which campus is the best for fashion designing? Milan, Paris, Florence, or London? I get a lot of these questions where people ask me, or you guys ask me, like, oh, which campus is the best? Once again, super hard, because first of all, it's super subjective. Like, all campuses are awesome. They all offer something super different. So it's super hard, and everybody has a different, like, how can I say, opinion on thing, let's say. And me, I don't even know how it is in the other campuses. So, you know, I would have to like study in all campuses to be able to answer this. And even it would still be my own opinion. So I don't know which one is actually on paper the best. But I personally don't think there is like one that is the best. I would say that they all offer different things. Like Paris and London, I know so many designers that just managed to really become super big after graduating from Marangoni, London, and Paris. Marangoni started in Milan. They started with fashion designing, so obviously it's like the OG place to be, and I would always obviously recommend Milan. But yeah, and then there's Florence, which is getting so creative and artistic, and I think as a fashion designer you would have so much fun growing there and experiencing there. So honestly, I think they all are super different, and I would suggest, like, if you really do not know, just go visit the campuses, go visit the city if you're able to, of course, or at least like try to like contact people who are working there or studying there, who are in Marangoni, like doing fashion design there. Then I have questions from Instagram and also from DMs. And by the way, you guys, if I don't answer all of the questions in today's videos, or if I missed your question, this is really like by accident. So don't hesitate to pop your question down below in the comments of this video. It's super easy like this. I can answer you right away and everybody gets to see the answer as well. Otherwise, if you want to ask a more personal question, you can just DM me on Instagram. I pretty much always answer DMs and as fast as I can, but yeah, don't hesitate. Okay, so this person was again asking me about the campus in Mumbai. Unfortunately, same thing as before, I do not know how it works there. I would just say honestly contact the school or contact students through LinkedIn, through Instagram, like try to do that to know more about other campuses. Okay, so this person asks me, I wonder if I can study fashion business and fashion design at the same time. So this was something I was not sure. To me, it was not it's not possible. I guess she's talking mainly about the 3-year course or like the bachelor degree, but even for the master, it would be similar anyways. To me, that's not possible from my own experience and from what I remember. And I asked Ksenia actually about this, and she told me that that's not possible. What you could do though is, for example, do fashion design as your bachelor degree and then switch to fashion business for your master degree. She did tell me that in fashion design you do have a little bit of business because you obviously have to learn how to create your own brand, and you probably learn, I'm not sure about that though, but you probably learn about how to create a business plan or something like that. I'm not so sure, but you do have business in fashion design course. But yeah, like you cannot do them at the same time, unfortunately. Then name of brands that come to offer jobs, especially in London campus. So I actually asked my friend Miriam for this question because this is really about the London campus. If you're interested in knowing the brands that came to see us in Milan, I have a video about post like Marangoni, and I talk about graduation and about the brands that came for interviews, because we did get a lot of brands that came to Marangoni and interview us for potential internships or jobs and all that stuff. But this was after my master diploma, like my master degree. Since Miriam, she did the bachelor degree, maybe it might differ from bachelor to master, but she gave me her own like experience and thoughts about this, and she told me that you don't get after your bachelor degree like brands coming in for interviews and all that stuff at the London campus. However, and that's super cool, and I have to say I agree with her, that's the best part about Marangoni, at least in my opinion. You do get guest speakers from brands or that work for brands, for companies in the fashion industry. They come and sometimes they give like, not really lectures, but they explain maybe a specific topic. We had, for example, in Milan, Anna Dello Russo, the super famous influencer. She came, like blogger influencer. She came a few times. I actually have a picture with her. I'll pop it around the screen. I actually took it with my friend Ashish from my master degree. So super cool. So she came, for example. We had also, I think, the CEO of Balmain that came too. And well, it's a similar situation in London campus. So through that, you can network with them, like try to just like give them perhaps your business card if you have one, or your contact, see if they have opportunities, like internship opportunities or job or whatever, like try to network. And then the next question is also for Miriam. Actually, I asked her about this because I don't know about this, and it's, do you think there's a lot of math in fashion business? I studied fashion communication and my friend Ksenia too, so I had to ask Miriam, who studied fashion business, and she told me that there's not that much math. Like you do have math because you do have classes about fashion buying in business, so you do need to do like basic math, but she told me that you don't have to worry, there's not that much. So I guess if you don't like math, that's a really good point, because I hate math, but business is super cool, so that's a very good point to know. Okay, then I got 2 other questions too from my stories. They're very similar. One is, does Marangoni has a student accommodation or you have to find it by yourself? And can you talk about your stay in Milan? Where and how did you rent the apartment? These 2 questions are very similar, and I'm not going to answer it right now because I have a whole video, the student accommodation one, in which I give you all my tips regarding residences, regarding also the accommodation through Marangoni. So I recommend you, if you had that question or if you asked that question, to go check out the video that I will link around the screen and down below too, because I explain everything there, so it's easier. Then I got another question that was super interesting actually. I think we're arriving soon at the end, by the way. This one is, do the Italian students socialize with the English course foreign students? So this is super interesting because my experience is very different maybe to others. I didn't ask Ksenia or Miriam about this because obviously this is more related to Milan, and Ksenia studied with me there, so we probably have the same point of view, I think, I hope. In case Ksenia, comment below and say what you think about this question. Basically, for the fashion communication course, whether it was the bachelor or the 3-year course or the master course, I was mixed, like the English speaking students were mixed with Italian because that's how they did it. I think it's because they just didn't have enough volume in terms of students for the fashion communication course. And it was the same for other courses as well. I'm not really sure about the system regarding this, but as I already explained in many other videos, we were just mixed together. So for example, the teacher sometimes was like really an Italian teacher, so they would speak in Italian, and you had someone there, like a translator, who would translate in a little machine, and you had your earphones and you could follow the class like this. Or sometimes the teacher would speak in English and it was the other way around for the Italians who didn't understand English. Like, that's how they worked. So we were mixed with Italians. So in this case, I have to say that you automatically become friends a bit with everyone. So it's not that hard. Obviously, if you have a class full of Italians and a class full of English speakers, most time it will be quite separate. And I have to say, this is based on my own experience, obviously, but obviously I have like a lot of friends who are Italians and who were Italian students in Marangoni, but most of the time they form their own group because they speak all Italian and it just works well like that. And then the foreigners or just the English speaking students, they stay together a bit more. So that's what I saw in terms of the dynamics of the class and dynamics of the school, but they do mix well. It's just that at the end, you will see groups forming a little bit. Is it quite difficult for foreign students to get a job in a fashion house in Italy? And do you recommend Marangoni for foreign students? So I do recommend Marangoni for foreign students. I guess you're talking about Marangoni Milan. I definitely do recommend because I think it's very international, but at the same time, they really kept the Italian culture, and the city is also very international, but still they keep the Italian culture. I would say a lot of people go study there and they're foreigners, so they speak English or other languages. You might even find someone from where you come from. So I really do recommend going there, and especially Marangoni is super cool for that. As I said, as long as you speak very good Italian, I think you'll find very easily an internship. That's my only, I would say, opinion and tip on that. Yeah, I think we're arriving actually at the end of the questions. I've been filming for 20 minutes. I hope this video won't be too long once I edited everything. So that's pretty much it for today's video. If you guys are starting Marangoni soon, good luck, have fun, learn a lot. Take all the experiences possible, go to all the events possible, learn as much as you can, have fun, meet people, enjoy, and if you're going to Milan, go to every possible thing happening in Milan because it's such a cool city. And yeah, I wish you all the luck, and I can't wait for my next Marangoni video very soon. And that's pretty much it for today's video. I will see you next week, and I'm sending you a lot of hugs. Bye everyone!